Hi, I'm Jon Beaman with Traverse Property Management here in Fort Worth, Texas. I got into property management as a fluke. I had a listing, just got my real estate license and lost the listing through a tried to do a short sale, ended up getting foreclosed on. That was my first and only client. And I was just like, wow, this sucks. Got into property management from really a fluke deal and worked for a company for a long time. Really learned a lot. This is a type of industry that is in massive need. Housing is the number one priority to all people, I believe. And I started my company with the premise of having a much better communication, having a smaller service area, really being transparent when it came to clients, owners, and tenants. So, my whole premise to starting my company was to not dominate a mass area. It was to really elevate the service standards and the maintenance pricing with being more localized, having a much more refined model with a smaller area to really seek dominance. That's kind of my method, and I do believe that at the end of this, it's going to generate really great results. So it's that belief that I stick to. Tech stack is a big deal, especially in the ever evolving climate of technology that we're in. For the longest time, I did not trust self-showing systems. Since then, I am a fervent believer in the self-showing systems. It has generated great success for us. Really love Rentvine. Rentvine has been a phenomenal management software. Support is by far superior, extremely user-friendly, and I've utilized Tenant Turner, Rentvine, Lead Simple. We're transitioning over to Apply. PMW has been great, just with the changes with AI and blogs, the importance of really the key phrases and not the key words. Being educated through PMW, my rep Emily, she's so fantastic to meet with me on the regular and really strategize to find out how to get the most out of your marketing spend, to be the most strategic with the areas that we operate in. But tech is a big deal. We really do lean on a lot of our systems for success, and it has generated a lot of success for our team, a lot of clarity, a lot of organization. And so, it's systems are there, and I'm always looking into, the latest and greatest and how things have been revised and updated, and, how it can be best applied to our team for streamlining operations. My biggest win was a broker had reached out to me to have lunch with her client. And I thought, man, that's kind of strange, but sounds good. And I go to this lunch with this broker and her client, and we sit down, we talk, and he's got a management company. He's got 120 properties, big client. And we sit down and we really get to talking about, what brought him here, what his pains have been in this journey with all of these properties. And you could just start to see a massive de-stressed look on this guy's face. And you could just see, man, he was in a bad spot. He was being sued by numerous tenants with dog bites, just bad tenant placement across the board. Maintenance wasn't being taken care of. There were people that were working for him in maintenance that were stealing from him, that weren't even making the repairs but billing him for it. The portfolio as a whole had really gone rogue, and it's a lot to turn something like that over. 120 properties in one client, and he and I sat down, and I really opened up the proverbial hood of what we do here at our company and the many benefits that we bring, and and he took the lead. And it was the biggest client that I've ever brought on to this day. He's still with us. He is making more money now than he's ever made in the history of having this portfolio, 120 doors. And we get constant feedback on how much better things were from when he was with self-managing and then with a previous management company, and all of the many blunders that were made to actually getting with somebody that is organized, really has dialed in operations, has a stellar staff, employees are trained very well, have terrific experience. Yeah, that was the biggest success that I've had so far, was bringing on a client with 120 doors. It's a game changer for this company, and man, I want another one. Something I learned early on in this business was not all business is good business. There are clients out there that are not going to fit your mold. They are what I refer to as 80-20s. You spend 80% of your time on 20% of your clients, you lose the mass majority of your clients. I think I've learned that really getting to the brass tacks on what makes success for that client in this business, and not catering so much to what it is that they want, but what it is that's going to generate them the success that I know through many years of experience in wins and losses and education, knowing the laws. There's just so much, but I'd say that really having a good vetting with your client base and bringing in what's going to be the best for your company, and in terms of success and mitigating liabilities and not wearing your team out. Those are going to be some ones that I learned early and still stick with today. If somebody was new to this industry, there's a lot to learn, and I think even after many years of being in the business, you think you've seen it all, and you haven't. I would say the best advice I could give to somebody that was wanting to get into property management new would be to find a good, credible company and gain experience through apprenticeship, educate yourself, take property management courses, find a mentor that's in property management. Those would be some good advice points that I'd have for somebody that's looking to get in this business. It's a fun business, but it can certainly be a scary business at times, I think, as all businesses. So great industry, but definitely want to get with a good company that's got good operations, good principles, good values, acts with integrity, and you know the right ways of doing this business. Good habits. Some things that have changed in my business since partnering with PMW has been that we've gained more reviews. We have been a lot more proactive with our blogging. We understand through Emily and PMW the changes with AI and how it affects the SEO. Always trying to be strategic with where you're spending your marketing dollars. If you're having those monthly consultations and you're seeing, well, we didn't have as much success over the past couple of months in this market, maybe we need to pick up and go to this other market. Those types of things, and being in the know, being in real time, discerning what's a success and what's a failure when it comes to your conversion rate and your client growth.